Hey y'all. So, happy Valentine's Day, first and foremost. And we are back with the Bravo reviews. Sorry for the delay, but yeah, this is my review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 14, episode 11. Now, this episode was a filler episode to me. It was just all right. Like I was mostly on my phone during this episode. Yes, this is my favorite franchise, but still, there can be some boring episodes. It's not a perfect season. Um, I think they paid attention too much to the Augusta trip, but we will get into that when I talk about the episode as a whole at the end of my review. But yes, so we are still in Georgia. Augusta, Reba is having a conversation with Kyle until she's interrupted by Sutton's gay minion. It looks like, if he was able to get away with it, he put a pillow over Reba when she was sleeping. That's what I think. There is some tension there. They're all getting ready for brunch, and we get a little background of Sutton's father's troubles. And yes, it was a little sad. It was a little sad. Where he eventually took his own life, as we know, and clearly it's something that she is traumatized by. So then downstairs we're with Reba and Garcelle, and Garcelle even immediately notices, her and Sutton are very similar, like apple tree. And I agree, like they are very alike, which is just ironic to me. Um, so they go outside to have this conversation that Garcelle has hinted at in the last episode. And Garcelle's basically speaking for Sutton while she's talking to Reba, saying that she would love to hear her say she's proud of her and she loves her too. Like, I guess she's trying to plant that seed. Now, I thought it was overstepping. Like, that is none of my business. I don't care if it's like my closest friend. I'm not getting involved in that. That's a little bit too deep. That's out of my jurisdiction for me to even get involved in. Okay? Like, I'll talk to my friend about it, but I don't think I would feel comfortable. That's just me. But she said that, let me first, before we get into the conversation, like a lot of y'all was saying that, well, implying that Reba is racist. Like, I was even like reading some of the comments, like they said, when Garcelle was like, "Oh, maybe your daughter wants to hear that you love her," they said that Reba was like, "Shouldn't you be inside fixing a glass of sweet tea or something?" Like, it was a lot of the comments. I was laughing. Now, she didn't really like, no alarm bells was ringing in this episode for me, but definitely the last one. But I will say, I mean, the way she looked at Garcelle, when Garcelle was like really overstepping and saying, well, maybe she wants to hear I love you. I mean, it looked like Reba wanted to say, you ninja. You, oh, how dare you? But we just playing over here. Like, I didn't get racist vibes from Reba this episode, but she is a Southern white woman. Like, look, me growing up in the South, we see that all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure she might say a problematic thing or two. The woman was alive after World War II. So yeah. Anywho, some of y'all saying she's a narcissist. I mean, at that age, 82, like I said, like sometimes you just can't get old people to change their perspective on things. I think personally, by the end of the episode, Reba was just, doing this for the cameras because she's still smart. She's not no senile old woman. Like, she definitely was aware of the conversation that was going on. Reba is committed to being sour. It's down there somewhere, and she could bring it out if she wanted. You said it, not me. Um, Anywho, um, Reba says respectfully, she doesn't think that's any of her business. Respectfully, I don't think that's any of your business. And I agree with her. I agree with her. Like she needed to put Garcelle in her place. Like y'all, did y'all think that Garcelle was right in even having this conversation with Reba? So yeah, I'm just like I gotta agree with her. She didn't say anything that was like wild or offensive to Garcelle, in my opinion. But thankfully, they are interrupted by Sutton as they go inside for brunch. Cut to Garcelle's confessional though, and she says she thinks that's uh, Sutton had a relationship with her dad that she didn't have with her mom, and she sensed some jealousy there. So then, as they're having brunch, Sutton says she wants to visit her childhood home. Her mom seems to be very against it. And this is where her dad, I believe, shot himself. And we hear Sutton say that because her mom knew that he was self medicating and taking sleeping pills and there was a gun in the house, she still harbors some resentment to her mom. Like that was a little, a little surprising moment for me that she's holding her mom like some resentment to her. Now, that can be a little debatable, because I feel like once someone is in that mind frame, you can't take them out. No matter how like much you can try to tell them like, oh, you have so much to live for. Like I'm very sensitive to that topic of, I can't say it on here, but the S word. This is a little bit of Chris's business, but I had a friend in college. Thank God they're still here to this day, but they attempted to take their own life. And the thing is, like, I feel like you have to be in a deep state of despair where, you can't be taken out of it. So it's hard to blame other people for someone else's actions because if someone wants to do it, they're going to do it, from my experience at least. I would love to hear, what y'all think. I know this is a heavy topic, especially for housewives, but like it was just really interesting that she would hold resentment to her mom for that. But yeah, I wonder if her mom saw this scene. Like, what did she think when she heard Sutton say that? Like, I can't imagine that she took that well. So next scene, we're at Erica's place, and this is basically an old school fast forward. Her storyline is really redecorating her home. That's pretty much the scene. So we're gonna move on. Next, we're at Bo's house with her daughter, and she's talking to her about her boyfriend and how it's getting serious, and possibly even wanting to have another child. Her daughter's actually very supportive and thoughtful, and I would not think, like as a teenager, she would be talking to her mom so introspectively, but that really is a reflection of Bose as a parent. Like they were really having a grown conversation between the two of them. I was like, wait, how old is her daughter? Because like I was like, is she 19 or something? Like, isn't she just like a preteen or like 13? I think she's 15 though, but still, like that's a very mature viewpoint for a teenager because I know how I was at that age. Um, Let me see what y'all saying. Can't blame mom, but it's an interesting aspect from the child. It serves as a reminder to check on your kids when trauma happens. I agree with this because I think, I feel like it is like a Southern thing, or like not everybody is like, what do I want to say? Not everyone is with therapy, but isn't her mom a therapist? That's the thing. Like I'm kind of confused by that. Very confused because her mom is a therapist, so why can't she have these conversations with her daughter? Um, why doesn't she get a surrogate? That's what I was wondering. Like, why does Bose have to carry a child at almost 50? Like putting your life in danger? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Chris, adore your channel. Thank you. Maybe Sutton's resentment towards her mom is because Sutton sees Reba as having all these tools to deal with mental health. Okay, but she failed to help her dad? Question mark. All right, I can see that as well. Of course, it's not as simple as that, but maybe that's the first place Sutton went when her dad passed away. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. See, that is why we love to have conversations in the live chat. I love the live reviews. Thank you for your comment. So then, next scene, we're back in Augusta, and Sutton and the ladies are visiting her old home. It seems like the last step in her healing journey. It's a very emotional scene. That was pretty much the gist of it. Just her walking around, just saying like, "Oh well, I remember this." So, I would love to visit my childhood home. I know exactly where it is in New Orleans. It's still intact, even after Katrina. But I don't know. It's so hard to go up to someone's house, knock on the door, and be like, "Excuse me, this is where I was born in 1985, and I was here until I want to say 1996. Can I come in, just look at the place? Because I can walk into that house blind and know where I am. I'm like, this is the living room, this is the kitchen, this is my old room, this is the bathroom, this is my mom and dad's room. I would love to do that. I don't know. I just haven't yet. But it's one of the things I always wanted to do. I always want, because there's just so many memories. And I just thought of it just now. 10 years, that's it. I was only in that house for 10 years. And it feels like a whole lifetime of memories. Now, see, I'm just veering off the path and telling y'all Chris's business. That's why y'all need to go to the Patreon. Anyway, let's go back to the review. Enough about me. I'm boring. Dorothy is a therapist too, and she and Candace couldn't get it together. Good point, because they have a struggle relationship too. Maybe it has something to do with the profession. I bet her mom has a mean reverse psychology game. Oh, you right. Just imagine Reba in her younger days. Oof. I don't think that a spouse can offer the same mental health that their own specific therapist can give. Are Garcelle and Kyle really her closest friends? Because I feel like Kyle barely likes her. That's why in my last review, I was like, why is Kyle here? If anybody should be there, it's Jennifer Tilly, who I'm sure probably couldn't make it. But look, I believe Garcelle is her very close friend. I believe that friendship. I'm not sure why we can believe Garcelle and Sutton's friendship, but can't believe Bose and Dorit's friendship. We'll get to that later. But yeah, like I was just really confused that if you just bring in Kyle, then you might as well just bring all the ladies, because Kyle don't see it for Sutton present day. Kyle would not even bring Sutton to something personal like that. It would be Erica and Morgan or Teddy or something like that. So it was just weird that, Kyle was there in the first place. I think they just knew that Kyle is the face of Beverly Hills. She is, the queen bee, and the most senior person on the show. So that would be a way that cameras would care. Sutton said on her interview with ET that Kyle's actually her very good friend this week. This week? Okay, well, I can't wait to see the reunion. So let's see. Where am I? Okay, next up, we are with Bose, Erica, and Dorit meeting at lunch. Again, I love these three together. If I had to choose, like a trio that I would rather hang out with, I'm sorry. Like at least if I could choose a trio of scenes, I would choose Dorit, Bose, and Erica. Like Kyle and Sutton and Garcelle, it was just more so the Sutton show. I felt like I was watching two different shows at this time. But anywho, Bose is in the hot seat as their Kikian. And she discloses that her and her man have been together for 8 months and he has yet to say, I love you. Now, a lot of us were confused because isn't this man trying to have a baby with you? And he hasn't said, I love you yet. So I don't know. We're putting the cart before the horse. Like, does Bose want a baby that bad? I thought she wanted a baby to, and it sounds terrible, but I thought she wanted a baby to pacify him, because he always wanted a child. Because I would think that, if Bose didn't, like, if Keely didn't want a kid, then Bose wouldn't care, So it's just interesting. And I get that, well, if you want a baby ninja, then you're going to have to put a ring on it and, do all this so we can get to that. So I can still carry this child. So, yeah, it was very interesting to me. Let's see. Chris, are you seeing Keely red flags yet? I am now, since he hasn't said I love you yet. But they're still together. I picked the rich group. I will say that's a good point. I picked the rich group. Erica and Bose are good chemistry. Yeah, it's just good chemistry and good fun. Bose is getting played or in our face or playing in our face. Oh, Bose is getting played or playing in our face. I guess we'll see it by the reunion. You can tell he wants Bose for her money and isn't that into her. Really? Interesting. Why do you think he's only there for her money? Like, she's beautiful. I mean, she's only 4 years older than him, I think. Hate to say it, but I was with Erica's commentary on her take on love before the baby. I mean, I agree. I think 8 months is a little soon. Interesting. So that's going to go into a question I have for the audience. She's 40. These want a baby storylines are old. I hope Bose knows what she's doing. That man is a storyline. 8 months is a little too soon for I love you and baby talk. But is it accelerated when you're in your late 40s, though? Because I feel that's a common thing. So, yeah, my question is to the audience and to y'all who are doing, not in the live chat anymore. You can put it in the comments. But does it matter who says I love you first? Because clearly Bose loves him, but I think she doesn't want to say it first because she's scared he's not going to say it back. And now she has in the back of her head, like, damn, we talking about babies now, but he hasn't said I love you yet. So I'm waiting on him to say it so I can say it back. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's different for a woman, but I guess, I don't know, like, if I love you, then I'm just gonna say it, and if you don't say it, then maybe we just not on the same page. Also, I think when we get exclusive, I would expect that it's said at some point, like if we're dating exclusively. But when I think about it, when should you say I love you? Because it is a time where it's too soon to say it as well. I would say, see, 4 months. It's so hard because then there's the dating phase, and then it's exclusive, and then when you're seeing each other exclusively, like at the 4-month mark, that's the part where I would say the honeymoon phase is over around the 4-month mark. So I would say between month 6 and 7, that would be the time for me to say like, I love you or something like that, or maybe even sooner, around the 4-month mark. But I would say maybe 4 to 6 months. Now, if we're going on a year like of dating each other, I don't know about that. You can't say I love you. But also with me, this is Chris's business. I have a thing where I don't throw out those words unless I really mean it. Like, I know people throw out I love you like that. Like, the only person I can really say I love you casually is my mom, because it was casually told to me. And this will go into Sutton's plot line later, because I have something to say about that as well. But yeah, just a little Chris's business. I don't really throw out the I love you a lot to a lot of people that isn't like my mom, like strictly parents, like not even like my cousins or like aunts and stuff like that. It's hard for me to just throw out casually I love you, even though I love them. I don't know. I need to go to therapy maybe for that. Anywho, let me see what y'all talking about before we move on. He has to say it before they have a baby. Well, I agree. Let's see. He needs to make his thoughts and intentions known. I will say the last 2 scenes they've been in, they've been talking about whether they're on the same page or not. In your late 40s, you should be able to detect BS sooner, move faster in a relationship. I agree with this because I'm almost 40 and I just date differently these days. It's just like, it's not, I hate to say it's checking a box, but I just know exactly what I want, and I'm not going to waste your time or mine. I'm getting a lot of meat out this episode, even though not that much has happened. But it's probably more stressful to have a baby with the person you only know for 8 months at the age of 40 with the newborn. What if she doesn't spend enough time really getting to know him? I don't know. I would say at 48, I would just be like, the shop is closed. Like, if you want a kid, like, I don't know, I raised my child. If you want a kid with somebody, maybe I'm not the person for you. Or you just gonna have to, I don't know. Well, we need a puppy or something. Because to be 48 and then have a newborn, I don't know. I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, again, don't forget Jennifer Tilly is the voice of Bonnie on Family Guy, Joe the crippled cop's wife, and Chuck the series. Oh, yeah, she is. But Bonnie isn't like a season regular, though. It's like, she's not in every episode of Family Guy. Like, they could do, like, if they have every episode, like, she could just do all her scenes for like a week and she'll be done for that entire season. I feel like if you're bringing your partner around, your children, you should have said it already. Okay. My grandma always said, get a man that loves you more, and out loud to everyone. Garcelle should have left that old lady alone. She lucky that's all. I think you should tell people you love them. Tomorrow isn't promised, Chris. I know. I've learned that since I lost a family member. So yeah, I've been better with it with my family, but I'm still working on that. We are all a work in progress. Wait, Jennifer Tilly is 67? You a goddamn lie. Wait a minute. How old is Jennifer Tilly? That bitch is 66. God damn. Now wait, how old is Kathy Hilton? She is older than Kathy Hilton? Damn. Well, I learned something new today. I thought Jennifer Tilly was like 58. Like, I didn't think she was over 60. Wow. All right. Well, moving on. So later in the conversation, we're on Dorit now, and she lets the ladies know that she's talked to PK. And they had a civil conversation, and this sounds very different from the last episode, very different. Like, it looks like, all the rah-rah has calmed down, and Bose and Erica ain't here for it. Bose calls it a trick. Dorit seems like, she's falling for the okie doke, but they're still encouraging her to think clearly and be smart about this situation. Now, I know some of y'all, especially OST, who's treading on thin ice trying to say I cap for Dorit. No. Like, I call shit how I see it. I ain't standing nobody on this show. Yes, I like certain cast members more, but I don't cape for anybody. All right? So let's just get that clear. But yeah, some of y'all are saying that like she's playing with her marriage for a plot line. And I don't know. I can't say that to, I don't know if I can say that at this point. Like, I think that there are some people who just really want to be in a relationship. She's been with this man for a long time. Maybe she doesn't want to be single again. Maybe she wants a happy family. Like, again, like with Kyle, Kyle's identity is attached to being a wife and a mother. And I believe that's the same for Dorit. And for her to be single again, I think she just wants to be absolutely sure. And if she don't have to go down that road with PK, I think she won't have to take it. Like if PK acts right and she don't have to go down this road, I think she won't. Even though he might, she might not be the happiest. She just doesn't want to go down that road. And that is some people's reality. So right now, I still think it's real. I still have friends, that aren't married, but like when they say, like, you have those friends where like, girl, I'm going to leave him. I'm going to leave him. And then the next week, he brought me flowers. He's acting right. He gave me a gift. He got me a puppy, girl. Like, like some people be switching up. And that's why me and my friend like I was like to the point where I don't want to be around your significant other anymore because I'm not going to let some ninja, because I said it like that, get between our friendship. So don't mention him to me anymore. So I've been in this situation where it's been like double dutch. Is you leaving him or not? I see how he treats you in public. So I can't even imagine how he treats you in private. So I've been there before. You get a lot of Chris's business for this episode because it's so connected to real life, So let's see. Bozo on the after show is a clown, and that friendship isn't gonna last. The separation seemed like it started off fake, but then PK flipped the script and really wants to leave. PK divorced his first wife before the 10-year mark, and he went on to marry Dorit. Let's see. I don't think they're together. I think they split 2 years ago when my bartender friend said she saw PK with a date at a bar in LA, and she knew she was getting a pink slip and is now using it for the show. That man, let it be known, he was a serial cheater since the moment he stepped on that show and was looking up Erica's skirt. Oh. So I believe the divorce, but I don't believe these stories are happening as they are filming or the way she is playing victim. PK doesn't want Dorit anymore, especially watching the season in real time. Bozo's earrings are out of control. Can we not call her Bozo? I don't like that. Her name is Bose, and she has not done anything for her to qualify being called Bozo. I'm just saying that now. And yeah, anywho. Because that is mad disrespectful to add that O after her name. I like her style too. Let's see. So we're moving on. Next scene, I believe it's the last day in Augusta for the other ladies, and Sutton is being neurotic in the kitchen as she's getting ready to make crab cakes. This is the day where she's going to have the conversation with Reba. So then Sutton is currently working on a line for her store, and she's telling her mom about it. Why is my screen so dark? Sorry. She's telling her mom about it, just to ease her in the conversation about their relationship. So they finally get to it, and Sutton tells her that she doesn't know if she's proud of her or not because she just never says it. Like, you never communicate that you're proud of me, that you love me, or whatever. Reba says she doesn't need to say that she's proud of her. And now the whole time, Garcelle and Kyle are ear hustling in the stairway, which is my thumbnail, which I missed the first watch because I was literally on my phone most of the episode. It seems like Reba's reasoning for not throwing out affirmations to Sutton or, saying I love you is because she thinks when it's said so much, it loses its meaning and can become trite. Now, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, like, I can kind of agree with that sentiment, but to a point. Because when you never say it, when you never say I love you or affirming how proud of you to somebody, like, that's a problem. So yeah, like, I have a hard time saying, like, just throwing out I love you to a friend. Even though, like, I do love them, I just don't feel like I need to say it all the time. That is just how I feel. But, in moments where, special occasions, maybe you'll get it out of me because, again, I am Daria. I am a black male version of Daria. I don't do the mushy shit. I don't. So, like, for those of you who watch Poli Side-Eye, I love Jared. Jared is my brother. Like, Jared changed my life. Like, I wouldn't even be in New York if it wasn't for Jared. Like, I love Jared. But I feel like I don't have to say that all the time. I have to be like, Jared, I love you, So yeah, like, I get where Reba's coming from, but it seemed like she was that tough as nails mom who never said it. So I can see how, Sutton feels the way she feels. Sutton, nonetheless, tells Reba how it makes her feel, and it makes it seem like, Reba makes it seem like she actually hears her in this moment. I'm not sure if we believe Reba or not in this scene, but Sutton asks if she's able to come to support her fashion show that she's having, and Reba obliges and also tells her they can do better. They share a hug. Then Sutton goes to tell Kyle and Garcelle. As she turns the corner, they scatter like roaches. I mean, they didn't play it off really well. But Sutton says, her talk with Reba went great. And afterward, they have dinner. And that is where the episode ends. Now, I thought it was a cute episode. I mean, if you love Sutton, you probably love this episode. But honestly, I wasn't entertained that much. And if you don't like Sutton, you probably hated this episode because it was almost like a little spin-off episode, it felt like, with a little bit of Beverly Hills sprinkled in. I think the Augusta trip still, I'm standing 10 toes down on it. It would have been way more entertaining had they all went. Because I think they could have also explored the city of Augusta as well. Like, it looked like they didn't even go out in the city at all, which I think, could have been a whole thing. Like, why couldn't the whole group go? I think that would have been nice. But yeah, I would give this episode, don't get mad at me, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. And that's me being very, very generous. Very generous. But look, I'm at the 33-minute mark of my review. I got some meat out of this episode still. But maybe that's just because, I'm good at what I do. Okay, let's see what y'all were saying. I love a good crab cake. I've had crab cakes only one time in my life, and that's when I worked at Maggiano's, and they have some good crab cakes there. Watching Sutton's interaction with her mom explains a lot about her. I agree. Let's see. I know this may be harsh, but Reba is 82 and doesn't have much time left. Sutton needs to grow up and resolve this on her own. Sutton is in her 50s. It's not her mom's job to heal her. That is kind of harsh. It just goes to show childhood issues become adult issues. Tell your children you love them, period. I agree. I totally agree. That's why, like, I say I love you to my mom so much because she told me I love you every single day. Every single day. I think sometimes even before I went to school, like preschool, elementary school, or whatever, you know? So maybe that's why I have no issue saying I love you to my parents, because they told me all the time. So I can't imagine if my mom never really said I love you. That would be kind of like crazy to me. Let's see. I have a Reba as a mom. Very Indian, very controlling, very cold, and I was not coddled, and I'm very sensitive, but as an adult, it's your job to heal and do the work. Interesting mindset. I'm sure maybe it might be debatable. I think Sutton's dad was supportive and she misses that, and since he's gone, is looking for that from Reba. It looked definitely like she was closer to her dad than her mom. Oh yes, finally I got the haircut. Ugh. I'm going to a party tomorrow, a birthday party for 2 friends. So, you got to pop out and show ninjas, After watching this episode, I'm glad Garcelle and Kyle were the only ones invited. I couldn't see her going back to her childhood home and having that moment with Erica or Dorit. Well, I figured that she probably would have split up, This episode was a 1 out of 10. Boring. Damn. Really? I don't know. I was enthralled with this episode. It explains a lot about Sutton. Yeah, I agree. A 7. We love you, Chris. I love y'all back. I can say that very easily. I love my subscribers. And also we have 90 people in the room. I'm pointing to that the little thing that shows how many views I have. Give a ninja a like, please, and then subscribe as well. We're almost there, y'all. Look, I am at, let's see, I have 267 subscribers left until I get to 16K. We can do it. We can do it. All right, so y'all. Oh, see, I totally agree. The Bozo reference is immensely disrespectful. Like, completely disrespectful. Like, she has done nothing on this show to have disrespect on her name like that. And it almost gives like I don't know, if any of those white women called her that, I would immediately think I would side-eye them. So yeah, anywho. I'm glad we all agree that it's just very disrespectful. Yes, happy Valentine's Day. It's just Friday for me. Even though somebody I'm interested in told me happy Valentine's Day this morning. So, I appreciate that. So I got a happy Valentine's Day from somebody. Anywho, enough of Chris's business. If you are on the Patreon, it's patreon.com/cdiggy1. I'm doing a Q&A. I do it like every month or two if you have any pressing questions, because on here, you get reviewer Chris. On Patreon, you get Chris behind the scenes. You get me vulnerable Chris. So yeah, I still have that up because I'm waiting for more people to participate in the questions. So yeah, if you are subscribed to the Patreon, please go ask a question. It can be messy, anything you want to know. And I'm sure y'all nosy asses want to know something. Anywho, y'all, this was fun as always. I'm about to get on my traders. So yeah, that I should be able to get traders up tonight. So yeah, with that, y'all, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.